Novak Djokovic has claimed a historic 19th Grand Slam title today, defeating Stefanos Tsitsipas 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4 to win Roland Garros. Djokovic already made a bit of history Friday, becoming the first man to beat Rafael Nadal twice at Roland Garros and the first to topple him in the semifinals or later. With his victory today, he's the first and only man in the Open era to win all four majors twice, along with each Masters 1000 title and ATP Finals twice. Focusing a bit on the match, the first set was extremely competitive and of high quality. It was also a bit topsy-turvy in the latter stage, as Stefanos had set point and other opportunities at 5-4, while Novak served forward at 6-5. Novak also had a set point of his own in the tiebreaker, but Tsitsipas was able to raise his level slightly higher to get the job done. This first set was crucial for both players, as it gave Stefanos an increased boost while taking the wind out of Nole's sails a bit. In the second, the Greekman upped the ante with the aggression, obtaining an even more dominant court positioning, and sort of began bullying the world number one around the court. Novak won 12% less receiving points, 23 in the second, plus his serving numbers weren't the best, only winning 57% of points when getting the first serve in. Also, Novak was simply not looking himself in that second set at all. He appeared very weary and didn't show his trademark speed at some points in the match, foregoing some balls which he surely could have gotten. This could have been due to his fall at 3-0 on the first, as afterwards, he did seem to be in a bit of pain, especially on his serve. Commentators began writing off Novak towards the end of the second set, bringing up him being 34 and coming off that 4-hour physical and emotional affair with Nadal in the semis. I have to admit, even though I knew that Novak could come back from this, I picked Stefanos to take the title after the 2-0 lead because of how out of it the serve appeared. Also, even before the match, I feared for Novak's sake that this could be a Wawrinka 2015 French Part 2, where he gets over that tremendous hump of taking out Rafa, but just falls a bit short when it matters. However, Djokovic, after leaving the court following the second set, still continued to fight and kept up with Stefanos early in the third. The fourth game of the third set was the big turning point to me, as he saved a few game points to get it to deuce. Then finally, on his fifth chance, he was able to break and began to really crack open the match in his favor. After that game, Djoko seemed to have gotten his mojo back and started hitting through the ball more and with more depth to shift the battle of the court positioning in his favor. My points about Novak's serve and returns being an issue were no more in the remainder of the match, as he upped his first serve points won and receiving points won percentage quite notably. Also, his game overall was much more solid, cutting out a lot of those uncharacteristic unforced errors. After winning the third set, Djokovic really suffocated Stefanos in the beginning of the fourth, managing to break him twice off the bat to build a substantial lead. After missing out on an opportunity to open the fifth with a break, Novak got that advantage in the third game of the decider, saving game points to go up 2-1. Though Tsitsipas battled hard and even saved a match point, that lone break was all Djokovic needed to close this one out and wrap his hands around that Coupe de Mousquetaires for a second time. I want to briefly give Stefanos props for an amazing tournament and match. He's often talked about how he's put in the extra work to make that next huge step in his game, and clearly that's paying off. He's had a tremendous clay season, winning his first Masters 1000 title in Monte Carlo, taking the title in Lyon, and now reaching his maiden slam final, coming ever so close to victory. Deservedly so, Tsitsipas is second in the race to London, as he's been the second best player all year. Steph will also rise to a career-high fourth in the ATP rankings for tomorrow. I know he'll be disappointed to not win today, especially with the lead that he had, but he still has nothing to hang his head about. Also, while I was editing this video, Stefanos made a post on Instagram where he actually revealed that he received news 5 minutes before the final that his grandmother had passed away. He says, "Life isn't about winning or losing. It's about enjoying every single moment in life, whether that's alone or with others. Living a meaningful life without misery and objection. Lifting trophies and celebrating wins is something, but not everything. 5 minutes before entering the court, my very beloved grandmother lost her battle with life. A wise woman whose faith in life and willingness to give and provide can't be compared to any other human being that I've ever met. It's important to have more people like her in this world, because people like her can make you come alive. They make you dream. I would like to say that regardless of the day, circumstance, or situation, this is entirely dedicated to her and only her. Thank you for raising my father. Without him, this wouldn't have been possible." So that was obviously very heartfelt, and it's very incredible that he was still able to come out after knowing that his grandmother, who he loved so much and who he loved so deep, had passed away, and he was able to come out and play so excellent, not even in those first two sets, but throughout the entire match. So props to you, Stefanos, and rest in peace to your grandmother. He fought hard until the very end, and I was particularly impressed when he saved break points in that 4-2 game in the 5th. Also, even in the final 3 sets, he played great tennis, but Novak, being the world's greatest player, came up with the goods when it mattered and got the job done. I think this is Novak's most special slam win to date, with all the accomplishments attached, beating Nadal at the French, winning for the 2nd time here, and now being just 1 slam shy of the all-time slam record. He also has a great chance of matching it at Wimbledon in just 4 weeks, where he's already the big favorite. People, including his coach Marian Vida, are also talking about him breaking the record and completing the calendar, or even golden calendar slam in September, which he can do, but it is a huge ask with a lot more tennis left to be played. I also think that his final match in particular symbolizes much of Novak's career. He had to overcome some early obstacles just to get back into the fight, but once everything started clicking, he was unbeatable. Also, the crowd was fully behind Tsitsipas, just like how much of the tennis community is fully behind Nadal. Even with all this, Novak finds the inner peace necessary to block out all the noise and utilize it to his own good. Now, I'll provide some insight from both Novak and Stefanos on their thoughts about the match and its implications.
What I learned today is that no matter what, in order for the match to be finished, you have to win 3 sets and not 2. And 2 sets doesn't really mean anything. It's still one away of winning the entire match. And I don't think I relaxed. I don't think I changed much. I just kept the same pace. I kept the things that were working for me, but it ended up, I don't know, he left the court after two sets of love down. I don't know what happened there, but he came back to me like a different player suddenly. I don't know. I have no idea. He played really well. He gave me no space. Felt physically, anticipation, maybe just movement on the court. Everything felt much more fresh and much better than before. I don't know. I kind of felt like he could read my game a bit better suddenly. Good for him. He did well to get there.
Being part of the history of the sport that I love with all my heart is always something that is very inspiring and very fulfilling for me. So I couldn't be happier and more satisfied with this kind of scenario in the last 48 hours. I mean, probably ranks at the top 3 all-time achievements and experiences that I had in my professional tennis career. Going through 4.5 battle with Rafa on his court, and then bouncing back after not practicing yesterday and just coming in today with as much as recharged batteries and energy regained to fight another battle of 4.5 hours against Tsitsipas, who was playing in his first Grand Slam finals, and it's always, of course, a bit tricky because you're playing for your trophy, for your first Grand Slam trophy, but you don't have much to lose. So I knew that he's going to probably start off very well, which was the case. It was a very close first set. Could have gone different way, but he was just a better player in those clutch moments. Second set, I dropped physically and mentally, I think, a little bit. I just got fatigued a bit and just, allowed him to kind of dominate the second set pretty much. Then went out from the court, as it was the case against Musetti in the 4th round when I was 2 sets down, and came back as a, different player, just refreshed, and just managed to make a early break in the 3rd. And after that, I felt like, I got into his head. I feel like I started swinging through the ball better, and the momentum was on my side. It shifted, and there was no looking back from that moment.
This tournament overall was very good for the men's. The quarters, semis, and finals all delivered and brought us spectacular showdowns we'll be talking about for a while. Looking at the other French Open winners from this year, on the women's side there's Krejcikova, who beat Pavlyuchenkova in 3 sets. I was unable to really talk about that match, but I will very soon. She completed the sweep and won doubles alongside Katerina Siniakova, beating Bethany Maddox-Sands and Iga Swiatek 6-4, 6-2 in the finals today. Then yesterday on the men's side, Nicolas Mahut and Pierre-Hugues Herbert won the doubles crown, claiming their 5th slam together overall. One of my favorite moments of the tournament though would have to be Djokovic giving one of his fans a racket after the match, as the boys' reaction was simply priceless. Finally, shifting away from the clay a bit, Felix Auger-Aliassime is still titleless, losing in the Stuttgart finals to Marin Cilic 6-3. He also has never won a set in his 6 finals appearances, but I think in due time he'll get the monkey off his back. Then in Nottingham, Jo Konta won her first title since 2017 and 4th overall, beating Shuai Zhang 6-2, 6-1. That's it for this video, and let me know in the comment section below your thoughts about Novak and Stefanos' incredible Roland Garros. Do you think Djokovic will surpass Nadal and achieve the calendar slam this year? Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever we post new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.